What's up guys, Chris here, and today I'm talking to you guys about the FiFine K037B video mic. This is a wireless mic setup sent to me by FiFine, so yes, this video is sponsored. With that being said, this is not going to affect my opinion of the mic. If the mic is bad, I'll tell you the mic is bad. So before we actually get into the review, this is not a scientific review at all. This is a Filmmaker's review of how I would use it and how I feel like using this thing. My experiences, how I used it, how it works, and what I think of it. So let's get into it. So let's just start with what you get in the box. You get an instruction manual, you get two mics, both a headset mic and a lavalier mic. Then you get a transmitter, you get the receiver, and you get a nice little adapter from the 8th jack to the TRS adapter that actually plugs into the camera. That's what I'm recording into currently. The receiver is going to the adapter, into the camera, just to show you guys how that's working. I also have my NTG3 down here recording. That way I can have a backup audio and have something to compare and contrast to. I'm recording with the lavalier mic right here, which is why I'm in a long sleeve shirt in August in Arkansas, and this is hot as hell right now. So I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible because I'm burning up right now, guys. This is a little headset mic that you get. This is one of those headsets that after you put them on, you go over, it clips over your ears and makes you look like one of those motivational speaker type people or a pastor on the stage. So you just be like, you can be your better self. You can be a much better self than you currently are if you simply just buy my book. Everything involved here is only $37 and some odd cents, plus shipping and tax. It ends up being about $40-ish. So about $40 for a full wireless mic system, which is pretty insane considering the next best option is the Rode Wireless, which is about $200. This is about $160 cheaper. Quality is, well, the mics include our $20 mics. They're not what you'd expect out of them. Quite frankly, you get what you pay for. This when you're paying $40, you're getting two mics and you're getting a wireless receiver set. With the mics included, you don't hear any buzzing. There's no buzzing or hissing when I cranked the gain up. I cranked it up to about 30 plus, and there is still no distortion in it. They sounded very tinny. There is very little bass in them, so my booming voice, which I really don't honestly have, wasn't there at all. And it just sounded really tinny, really video quality and very fake, which whenever I went through and messed with it in the audio, it made it a little bit better, but it still wasn't nearly as good as the Rodes would give. But then again, the NTG3 is a $500 plus microphone depending on where you buy it, so I would hope those would be a lot better, honestly. And if you're still listening through all this, here's a video test I did with the mic. This is an audio test of the FiFine K037B wireless microphone system. My name is Christopher Flatt, and this is ChrisFire, my film channel where I talk about film reviews and film tutorials. So let's just get right into it. Let's keep that blooper in there too. Anything to actually test out the dynamic range of this microphone actually get some testing in the real world application of this thing. So I don't really have much else to say over this. So there's a cooing baby in the background. Maybe you can hear that. There's a door slamming in the background. Can you hear that? There are 20 different channels for audio frequencies. So if, for example, you have 20 of these things lying around, you can plug each of them in and have each of them set to a different microphone and have each of them set to a different receiver. That way you can have 20 different people talking at the same time and still be able to receive them. This wireless receiver setup is more for the wireless speaker crowd, the church pastors, the motivational speakers, people who need to have a wireless setup where they can't be carrying around a mic like this the entire time, or they don't want a 20-foot long lavalier mic hooked to their chest the entire time. With that being said, do I see any practical uses for this for filmmaking? Yes. There are some instances where I think I could use this. For my everyday use, I'm still going to stick with my shotgun mic. So a quick pro and con list. Big pro of this is the wirelessness. I can walk around this entire thing and you can still hear me just the same. I can walk around. I'm going up and around all my lighting setup and behind the camera and back over to this front section, and I don't know what I'm talking about for that. Another pro here is the fact that these things do in fact have clips. I was surprised to find that a lot of these little receivers don't actually have clips to hook to belts or stuff like that. I can straight up just hook this thing to the back of my pants. Clicked it on there. It took me a second. And the wireless receiver is a major plus with that. The 20 different channels, if you need that many channels and if you have that much of a need for these many wireless solutions, great budget option for this stuff. Now, a couple of the cons that I have with this, the mics included are very horrible quality. If I'm being just straight up and honest, they're very bad quality mics. Then again, what do you expect for $40? You're getting the entire wireless package and two mics. Another pro is it's super easy use. These things are literally plug and go. You put the batteries in, you plug them in, you start them up, and you go. There's not really much else you have to do. The transmitter automatically connects to an available receiver, and you're good to go at that point. As long as you have your mics in, they're turned on, they're gonna work. That's just, at the end of the day, that's how they are. These things have no way to actually hook your receiver onto your camera. So let me use my G7 real quick. Zoom in and show you guys. It's just dangling right there. It's dangling. It's a little dangly boy. And that, I just don't feel that's very safe right there. It would have been super easy for them to include a cold shoe mount or something like that would connect to it, but they don't. That's honestly feels like an afterthought. Which I understand this is something that would definitely be used for more live shows than anything. But the fact they include a camera adapter for it just makes me think they thought about this and decided not to go with anything like that. Next con I have for the mic is the construction of them. The wireless receivers feel very plasticky. They're just made of straight plastic and they don't feel strong at all. I feel like if I drop them off my camera right now, they would break, and that scares me because it's $40. Wow, I'm really cheap. When you have something like the Rode Wireless where it has a hot shoe mount that just goes straight onto the camera and you don't have to worry about it. And this thing's just dangling right there and it's hanging off and frail and frilly and gonna fall off, it makes me feel like. That's not very reassuring. And if it falls and it breaks, I'm out the money for it. I'm not a big fan of that, so definitely wish they would have included a cold shoe mount for something like this. And with it being plastic construction, it just feels very fragile, and I don't want to put it in danger with stuff like that. So that's another con on there. Let's be straight with that one. Now, size-wise between the units, the receiver is slightly bigger than a credit card in terms of length, but is a lot bulkier than I hoped it would have been. And the transmitter is the average size transmitter I'm used to for these things, whenever I was dealing with churches or live event crowds. But still, it's not something I generally enjoy in terms of bulkiness because it is so long and so face size, hand size, I don't know, slightly bigger than a credit card, a lot longer than a credit card, about a credit card and a half in terms of length. This is not a scientific review at all. This is a con, but it's kind of expected at this point. The microphone is crap. The receiver does its job very well. That is a great addition right there, but the microphone is honestly crap. It's not a very good microphone at all, which for $40, you're getting 2 microphones and the receivers. I expected that. Let's be completely straight here. I expected that. Do I think this is a nice piece of gear? Absolutely. This is a great budget piece of gear if you need a wireless solution on a budget. So at the end of the day, who is this for? This is definitely not for the budding filmmaker. This is not for somebody who's trying to make narrative films or somebody who's doing documentary films or wedding films. This is, in fact, for somebody who's wanting to do DIYs or project videos where they're going to be moving around in a large space and they want to do it on a budget. This is for somebody who wants to do wireless live speaking event. Stuff like that, that's exactly who this is for, and it works great for those people. There are better options, but for a much higher price. You get what you pay for with this, and if you got a better mic with it, I think this would be a great combo. Just the microphone that's with it is not that great. But the receiver itself is a pretty good receiver and a good transmitter for the price that you get. So there we go, my non-technical feelings-based review of this microphone. So if you guys did enjoy this video, click up here for a list of film talky things that I've done over here, and click over here for a video that YouTube has said you guys are gonna like. I don't actually know what that is, so good luck with that. With that being said, I love you guys. Click that subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. Peace out, guys.